And a welcome to you inside Carver Arena here in downtown Peoria. It's time for Bradley basketball, and tonight, non-conference play rolls on as the Braves welcome in the UTSA Roadrunners. And we welcome you into the broadcast now again with my man, Christoph Kendrick. I am Brian Vito. And Christoph, through the first two games, certainly some areas of opportunity for the Braves, but you got to like what you see offensively. A lot of firepower so far.
No doubt, averaging 81 points a game against two pretty good opponents. That's a good place to start at, that's for sure.
Well, you look at taking our attention to tonight's game. You have a UTSA team that's got a lot of new faces, and what do they have to do to be successful along with the Braves?
UTSA needs to establish team cohesiveness. 15 new players, new coaching staff. They need to come out and handle adversity off the bat, see how they like playing with each other. Turn the Braves over. Bradley had so many turnovers, especially early in the game against Washington State, led to easy baskets. That's how you give up 91 points. And then meet the challenge of Division I. This is UTSA's first game against a Division I opponent this year. I think everyone else in D1 has played someone. You're on the road. Bradley's 40-6 here the last 3 years. How are you going to meet that challenge? For the Braves, take care of the basketball. It's just that simple. You take care of the ball, you get a lot of shots. That's why you average 81 points. Scoring 74 with all those turnovers is still pretty good. Establish Duke Dean. Duke Dean's your returning All-Valley player. They got tough guards over at UTSA. He's going to need to show up tonight, show up in a big way. And then guard one-on-one. We talked about the quickness of UTSA. Bradley's got to stay in front of their man and then be on help line if they do get beat, and just be ready to rebound and go out.
All right, Christoph, we're about ready to get rolling. As we get ready for tip here, let's quickly take a look at the starters for the visiting Roadrunners. They'll run out this five with Primo Spears, Damari Monsanto, Jaquan Scott, Marcus Millender, and Raekwon Horton. Some of those new folks to this program that we just alluded to just moments ago. Players that contributed last year at the Power D1 level even, but making their D1 debuts, at least in a UTSA uniform, I should say. Bradley, on the other hand, same starting five as what we've seen the first two contests. Will run out with Elmar Atlason, the sophomore, Duke Dean, the Valley's preseason player of the year, Zeke Montgomery, Darius Hanna, another preseason first-team All-Valley player, and rounding it out will be Christian Davis. Bradley won the only ever matchup between these two programs. The second ever matchup is now underway as the Roadrunners control the tip.
Brian, good to be back, man. Let's see how the Braves come out and establish themselves early defensively, how they're going to guard the ball right here, and let's see if they can get a couple of shutouts to stop the game. There's one.
And this is a group that, if you're Bradley, from Bradley's perspective, probably is difficult to prepare for just because there's not a lot of film. These players weren't here together. The style is probably undetermined yet. So, and there's a lot of talent on the other side of the basketball, a lot of athleticism.
Oh, there's no doubt. You see they start 3 Power 5 transfers. That's certainly nothing to scoff at. Those guys are recruited to that level for a reason. So when they transfer, let's see if they can take that with them and maybe expand on their game.
Here's Hanna. Christian Davis, who's been very good to start the season, actually Bradley's leading scorer. Duke Dean got 4 to shoot. They go to Atlason. Atlason goes up, couldn't finish, and it didn't touch iron. So we'll go back over to the Roadrunners.
Give the Roadrunners credit. They're coming out right away. Coach Wardle talked about their athleticism, and certainly right away pushing Bradley out. We talked about that as a key, putting ball pressure on the Braves.
Millender. There's Spears. Good hesitation dribble, too strong, but a whistle and a foul. That's going to go against Bradley. It's going to go on Zeke Montgomery on the rebound.
And Zeke just got a little too much underneath him there. Instead of wanting a clean block out, and they dinged him for one. But again, contained that dribble. That was a straight line drive.
Here's Scott, the senior out of Dallas. UTSA in their second contest. A big win over Trinity in their opener. They were supposed to take on North Dakota this past weekend, but it was canceled due to some inclement weather as Hanna pins that one up against the backboard.
Did he get beat on purpose, you think?
Thought about it on the floor. Here's Davis with the finger roll, had that blocked. Hanna is there, and he goes up, and he'll shoot 2.
Good job by Darius Hanna sticking with it. Going to get a putback opportunity here with the 2 free throws, got fouled on it. So as we saw the other night, he was on the highlight reels in Sports Center.
And a big dunk in the closing moments in the game against Washington State on Friday night. 9 points, 5 assists against SEMO in the opener. He's averaging, in a small sample, 11.5 points per game. It's actually his first missed free throw of the young season. There you get a look at Austin Clonch in his first year after 1 season as an assistant at Alabama, who made quite a run in the tournament a year ago.
Yes, they did, and certainly well-deserved. And I think if Coach Wardle can take anything in style of play, UTSA is going to be athletic, quick. They're going to shoot a lot of threes.
Millender had traveled, but he did have 19 points, 7 assists in the win against Trinity. Millender, the transfer from South Alabama, who is one of those prolific three-point shooters that you just touched on.
Yep.
Staggered ball screen. Dean walks into a triple. Everything but down, and we're still scoreless, or at least on this end. No field goals yet, I should say, as Dean tracks down the rebound. Dean finds Hanna, who's left alone. They recover quickly, but it's too late as Hanna scores. He's got all 3 for the Braves to start.
Nice job by Duke Dean there. Good recognition, finding Hanna, and good balance by Hanna there to finish that off.
No one home for the Roadrunners. They expected the pick and pop, not the pick and roll.
And that right there, you know, that's a transfer portal life. That's a simple mistake. Anyone could do it, of course, but it's amplified more and more when you're playing together for the first time with a new group of kids.
Now you're going to look at Brian Wardle now in his 10th year. 254 wins, 159 here at Bradley. The pick and roll, that was intended for Hanna, couldn't field it cleanly. Spears the other way, and he gets the first basket of the ball game for the Roadrunners.
Well, Bradley had gotten 3-4 stops in a row, making them play in the half court, then a silly turnover leads to an easy basket.
They get 3 back on the other end, so they'll trade the 2 for 3 from Duke Dean.
No doubt about it.
His 3rd triple of the year, and a 6-2 lead for the Braves. Millender, the sophomore out of Houston. Good close by Hanna. There's Jonovich, who just checked in. Some misfortune for the Braves. Couldn't corral the rebound. Quick trigger 3 from Spears is down, who had 27 in the win against Trinity. Spent his first year at Duquesne, came over from Florida State a year ago. Also at Georgetown in his career. Deflected out, and it'll remain Bradley basketball. Out of the timeout, 16 flat remaining here in the first half. Braves out to a 6-5 lead here in Peoria.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Mom, whose room is this?
Oh, I don't know.
When you want bedtime to be a good time.
Good night, sweetheart.
It matters where you stay. Save up to 20% off with Hilton Season to Stay sale. Hilton, for the stay.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
I got you something.
We said no gift.
We had to get you something.
Thank you, honey.
I got you this.
Did you do this yourself?
Yeah, I had a great teacher.
Happy birthday. I love you too.
Love you. Thank you.
This is from me to you.
10 little toes. She has his nose.
I am genius.
Bradley out to a 6-5 lead here in Peoria against UTSA, and there's the aforementioned Austin Clunch. Again, in his first year, 7th all-time head coach at UTSA, and when he was at Nicholls State, 2 conference titles in the Southland Conference as well. I mentioned the year at Alabama, or Nate Oates, and the success that they had. And you kind of alluded to it, Christoph, portal life, right? When you get hired kind of late, you really have to sort of piece it together based on outgoing players. You have to bring in some new players. A lot of the high schoolers have already been recruited in place. So he was able to find some talent from some high major schools. And not only high majors, but teams that had a lot of success and played into the tournament a year ago.
No doubt. And I think when you're in a situation where you've previously been a head coach and then you came from a staff like Alabama's, we made the Final Four last year, and you play an exciting brand of basketball, I think that has a lot of pull in your ability to get good players.
Out of the timeout, Jonovic comes away with it. They give to Dean. High post for Jonovic. Hand off to Dean. He pulls up inside the arc and connects. Good start for Duke Dean. He's got 5 of the Braves' first 8.
I like it. We talked about that as a key. Establish him. Good start for him. Like you just said, 5 of the first 8. And he's got an assist. Let's see if he can keep it going.
Braves now 3 of 6 from the floor. Good hands by Dean. Good hustle by the Roadrunners. And a tie-up, and it's going to go in favor of Bradley.
And there's the gap integrity we were talking about. When you face a team who can dribble, penetrate like the Roadrunners can, if your guy gets beat, Davis didn't quite get beat, but he had him on his side. There was Duke Dean with swiping at it, causing a turnover.
UTSA, a team that finished 11-21 last year, 5-13 in the American, but you can deem that pretty much irrelevant, right? Because it's a brand new program, new coach, new roster, and in a good basketball conference. It's the 3rd conference in as many games the Braves have faced off, so it's always good to see different types of basketball, different brands of basketball, and the Braves have done that early on.
No doubt about it.
Here's Davis. Jonovic inside the paint, left it a little bit short, but he might have been hit on. Nope, they're going to say it was on the rebound attempt, I believe. And it'll be out of bounds underneath. And Millender's going to come back in for Spears. Paul Lewis had checked in at the last dead ball for UTSA, along with Skylar Wicks. Dean stepped on the sideline and then got taken down. Bit on the jump fake, to say the least.
Yeah, I was watching the Purdue game last night. They were playing Yale, and Robbie Hummel made a comment that at least once a game we see that with the extended three-point line where someone steps on the line. And I think it's true. I've got me thinking, I was like, that is true. As you see it right there.
And the Roadrunners will bring it up. Millender, who shot 44% from 3 a year ago. They go underneath. Look at this size matchup underneath. And they get it to go on the bucket by Mo Jai.
Really good move by him to finish that. Over the top of Jonovic right there. He kept his poise. There was no double. He just went up, kept his balance and finished right over the top.
Yeah, Jai at 6'11", 250, up against Jonovic at 7'1", 260.
Older brother's starting center from Notre Dame Fighting Irish too, so he's got it in his family.
Montgomery steps back. Collected by Horton, the senior out of Santee, South Carolina. Gives to Lewis. They're looking to get it to Jai. The Braves switch back. Atlason on him now. He's pushed off the block. He'll step back and launch. And there's Hannah with the rebound. Hannah, full steam ahead. Nice job by Montgomery just to bring that one in. Dillon, who hit 4 threes on Friday night at Washington State, a perfect 4 from 4 from beyond the arc. They post up Hannah, who spins in as it wrestled away, and a jump ball is going to go in favor of the Roadrunners.
And we're seeing UTSA early. I think they're doing a very good job defensively. Bradley has not really had anything easy. There's been a couple of miscommunications. But for your first game against a Division I opponent on the road to come out like this and be sound defensively in the first 7-8 minutes, big feather in your cap, great start.
Wicks, right wing 3 is no good. Good box out by Atlason. He'll streak the floor. There's Dillon. And he finally comes up empty on a 3, and a good look. Good burst by Millender, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Jaquan Johnson.
I think Jaquan just got there a tad bit too late, went underneath, tried to meet him. He did a good job of trying to get downhill and drawing contact.
Sue Millender, who will go to the line. 19 points, 7 assists against Trinity. Very active so far tonight. Davis comes back for the Braves. And Braves at 1-1. Opening night win against SEMO. Lost on the road at Washington State on Friday night. Johnson, the electric freshman, will bring it up for Bradley. Atlason out to Hannah. There's his third 3 of the year.
Love it. Atlason drives in there, keeps his balance. See how he plays off 2 feet? That is taught by this coaching staff. It's a very good job of carryover from practice and then find an open man for a 3.
Wicks finishes on the other end, the redshirt senior out of Jersey City. Gets the Roadrunners back to within 1. High screen and roll for Montgomery. Zeke spins in the lane. Couldn't finish. Good move. Just couldn't quite connect. Spears the other way. He's got 5 already. And he'll shoot 2 with a chance to give UTSA the lead.
And Allison, that's one he tries to contest. He came down just too much, just jumped straight up, make him shoot that over the top. But again, UTSA getting out a little bit, running, getting some mismatches in those situations, and that's what's going to occur.
Yeah, and Spears, one of those transfers that, I mean, he led Georgetown in scoring when he was there a couple of years ago, averaging double figures at Florida State last season, so certainly a guy that's not allergic to putting the ball in the basket.
No, when you're scoring in the Big East and the ACC like that, it's not by accident. So this guy knows what he's doing out here, and he's certainly someone I know that the staff has been keyed into on how to slow down.
So first lead of the night for the Roadrunners. The flex cut, that was Zeke. Good ball movement by the Braves, extra pass. Davis is short. Monsanto to the rebound. Wicks shovels it underneath, and a throwdown by Scott.
Yeah, beautiful play there. Good job moving without the ball, and again, dribble penetration.
They key in on Duke Dean. Atlason has it now, back to Dean. Atlason draws the double. I don't think they see him from behind. They don't. Up ahead, Millender goes up, blocked by Hannah.
It's his second one already.
And it'll stay with UTSA out of the timeout. 11:25 to go. The Roadrunners in the midst of a modest run, up 3 here in Peoria.
brother.
Which brother? The older brother, duh. You're only older by a minute. Best minute of my life.
Guys, break it up, break it up.
Our son just needs car insurance.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent can help you choose the right coverage.
Give me the ball. Mine. Guys, that was my ball.
Break it up! Break it up!
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Bradley University student athletes live their sport, so when an injury occurs, they need a team of specialists focused and ready to get them back in action. The sports medicine doctors at OSF Healthcare, in partnership with Great Plains Orthopedics, are specially trained to restore function to injured athletes so they can get back to competing as soon as possible. OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics are proud to be the official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Choose FlexBuy on F-150 and get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $2,000 FlexBuy and $1,000 low APR cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
With Christoph Kendrick, I'm Brian Beto. UTSA with a 3-point lead, an emphatic slam on the other end, and got to be impressed with this Roadrunner squad here early on in the first half.
I like the way they've came out, and they look like they've been playing together for a while, man. I know it's a small sample size, but they've come out, they've took it to Bradley. I really like their defensive intensity. I think they're locked in on what their coaching staff is asking them what to do, and I think we're going to be in for a heck of a basketball game tonight.
Braves come out with Dean, Hanna, Jonovich, Montgomery, and Davis. So good size for the Braves on the court currently. And it'll be UTSA basketball out of the timeout. You like the purple shoes for Spears?
Yeah, got a good flair to him.
So does Scott's with the orange, and he'll shoot 2.
And, you know, Scott doesn't have Darius Hanna on that time. He had Jonovich on him. So what's he do? Slower foot guy, attacks right at him, makes him foul him. 2 shots. Nice recognition right away out of a timeout.
So Scott appeared in 11 games at Mississippi State last year, another tournament team that was one of the best defensive and rebounding teams in the country a year ago. And he makes 2 of 2. Millender is guarding Dean. Dean gets some space.
I love it from Duke Dean. UTSA got burned on that earlier. Dean got a 3. That same staggered double high ball screen. They switched it that time, made their adjustment, and Duke Dean made his adjustment and took the 2-point shot.
Step back 3. This is a tough shot.
Yeah.
And Davis couldn't get it cleanly, but then he's fouled on the loose ball variety. And the Braves will have it anyway.
That's twice for Christian Davis there. He's had a rebound. It's just kind of slipped right out of his hands. I don't know if that hockey ice is swelling up on him.
I was going to say. We'll call it that.
We'll call it that, yeah.
Another high ball screen for Dean, looking for Hanna, flips it in the corner instead to Montgomery, muscling his way in and using his size to create some space, and he splashes one home.
Brian, you said the best there. It's a skilled player with size and some speed, and he did use just that right there. And Bradley living on the mid-range right now.
Spears, well defended by Davis. Offensive foul. Really good defensive sequence by the Braves.
Outstanding. There you go. Guard one-on-one. And who is it leading the charge? Duke Dean. Way to keep in front, force a push off. Great job by Duke Dean. Not only is that a turnover, you get the ball back, but that's a foul on a really good player.
And again, the Braves are without one of their top defenders and one of their top rotational players again in Demarion Birch. They were without him on Friday night, without him again here tonight.
And he's a big piece, man. He's a guy who could be a six-man of the year candidate in the Missouri Valley.
Squaring his shoulders is Montgomery. Jonovic cleans it up and one.
Now you're seeing some good Bradley Coach Wardle basketball right here. Montgomery goes in, doesn't quite make the shot, but that's okay because Jonovic is right there to clean it up. Goes up, gets fouled. Let's hope this gets his confidence going a little bit.
Yeah, good response by the Braves. They've scored the last 6. Yeah, and you said it, Christoph. This is what this program really is founded on. You get a stop on one end, and it turns into an opportunity and some points on the other end. Offensive rebounding, another trademark of this program,
Absolutely.
too. There's a 3 from the wing. That's no good. Tipped around, kept alive, and Jai able to save it in. Millender over the outstretched arm of Jonovic knocks one down.
There's just a loose ball situation on an offensive rebound. You're in a scramble mode, and Millender gets an open 3 with a big guy trying to go on him.
Dean Allison can answer, and does.
Duke Dean, multiple assists now, controlling the basketball. That's what you want to see if you're Bradley.
Allison had a big night on opening night, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Knocks down a big triple there, and the Braves get a stop on the other end. Is he going to try it? Thought about it. Jonovic with the right, and that one bounces off.
You know what? That looked pretty fluid for him, though. He's improving his game. You can tell he's working on it. By mid-season, let's see if that can go in.
Deep 3 is short, and Dune the rebound. Big boy basketball underneath,
No
isn't
doubt,
it?
no doubt.
Zeke quick trigger.
Yep.
Foul's going to go on Dillon.
A little fast pace here the last few possessions. Game's kind of opened up a little bit.
That's the 5th on the Braves. UTSA also with 5. Fresh legs into the ball game for the Braves. Hanna and Johnson back in the game. Davis got a hand on it. Horton saves it. Davis there again. Good hustle by Johnson. Up to Hanna. Here we go, Christoph. Oh!
Sports Center again. But how does that start? Darius Hanna gets beat off the dribble. Mismatch. But I said it earlier, gap integrity. Christian Davis is right there helping his teammate out. Leads to a steal and 2 points.
Jaquan, great hustle again.
Great effort. Great effort.
Oh, they turn it over. Back the other way, and Davis fouls him. Raekwon Horton took the worst of that, but he will get rewarded with 2 free throws. When we come back, 7:39 to go here in the half. Very entertaining first half here in Peoria. It's the Braves by 3 on the Valley on ESPN.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now right at your fingertips in Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, tight money line splits. Start betting like a pro from anywhere in Illinois.
HomeGoods. Go gifting. Go finding.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
The moment I loved our Subaru Outback most was the moment they walked away from it.
Mom! Thank goodness.
And that's why our family will only drive a Subaru.
Subaru. More IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than any other brand. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Get special low rates on a new Subaru Outback for a limited time.
This is Formula One!
UConn, North Carolina, Friday at 6 on ESPN2.
Well, Christoph, this first half, no shortage of highlights here. You see the flush by Darius Hannah. You have the foul on the other end. Uh-oh.
Right in your
Everyone's
living
okay.
room, yeah.
I said before the break that Raekwon Horton took the worst of it. I might have been wrong there. I think our camera operator that took that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, easy for you to say. Raekwon Horton, the player. The dude that's 6'6", took the word, yeah.
Right, right. Well, and you know, if you're Christian Davis, you make a bonehead turnover like that, but then you get right back into play, you hustle, and you at least challenge the guy and make him earn it instead of having an easy layup. Now he's going to make 2 free throws to get the points.
We were talking during the break, Christian Davis defensively so far in this ball game, both individually and at the team help side has been phenomenal. Braves right now have limited the opposition to just 32% from the floor. And Hannah really lulled Jai to sleep there, making him think he was going to hand it off, and that forced the foul, and that's the 6th-team foul.
And Jai's a good-looking freshman, but he is a freshman. And Hannah does a good, like you said, right there, lulling him to sleep, drawing a foul on him. He's been very active on the rebounding for the Roadrunners, so that's a good one to get.
Johnson, who was magnificent in his collegiate debut, finds Hannah for another triple. He's been on fire here so far. 4 of 8 for 3 from Hannah to start the year.
Jaquan Johnson playing beyond his years there. Did not over-dribble. Took what the defense gave him. Found Darius Hannah for an open 3. It's really good basketball.
Davis guarding Spears again. That's good help by Dillon. It doesn't matter as Spears gets it to go.
Strong player. We talked about it. This guy scored the ACC in the Big East. He's not going to be daunted. He knows how to put it in the bucket.
Johnson, opposite corner. Here's Dillon. That's a great look.
Oh, you'll take that every day.
Spears.
Spears a little bit rushed there. Allison did a good job contesting that late. Kind of threw the shot off. But again, for Bradley on the offensive end, you see Johnson right there, back-to-back plays, getting his teammate an open 3.
So Dean back in. Again, Dean, who has a chance to finish in the top 15 in assists in program history, depending on how he closes out this year. Pick and pop, Atlason rattles home.
Now that time, Bradley ran that staggered double ball screen, more on the wing right there, and Atlason popped. Great adjustment by Coach Wardle right there, using different personnel in that situation to have a different situation.
Braves can push. In transition, Davis finds a seam, hands to Allison for the slam.
Great sequence of basketball. Davis, way to play under control, not rush anything. Allison get to the dunker area, get assist for Davis, finish that. Nice job by Bradley.
Great job of getting out in transition. On the pick and roll, Jai, and he gets it to go. That was influenced by Hannah.
It was. Jai's only listed at 6'5". I don't. No,
No,
I'm sorry,
6'11".
6'11". There's another one on the roster at 6'5". Okay. And he's a senior. Okay. Now I see why I was looking at the roster.
I was like,
here.
just up to his shoulders is 6'5". Dean, another three.
And there's Duke Dean again. We talked about establishing himself. He's done it. Assists, three-pointers, mid-range.
If you want to take credit for calling out this was a big Duke Dean game in the pregame, you can do that. You don't have to humble brag it. Just call it out, man.
Well, hey, you know what? It's still in the
It's
first
still
half.
early.
Yeah.
It's still early.
But he's on his way.
He's on his way. Millender knifing his way, and there's Davis again on the other end. Dean, heat check.
Oh! Big time shot from Duke Dean, and what was a 3-point deficit is now a 12-point lead.
We'll stay here. Duke Dean, red hot. Here tonight, this was NBA Jam, he'd be on fire.
That's right.
Tell me you're at 3 of 4 from the floor, make it 4 of 5, 2 of 3 from 3, 3 assists, you touched on 2 rebounds. What a start by the Valley's preseason player of the year.
No doubt. We talked about it, how he had been kind of had a slow start in terms of his scoring in the first 2 games. But that's obviously not something that's going to hold. He's a proven guy in this league. He's proven in college basketball. He can score and he can play. So it was just a matter of time before he burst out, and he burst out in a big way so far in this first half.
And again, on the other end, Christian Davis getting that deflection and that block is just, the defense has been really, really good by Bradley the last several minutes.
I agree, and what you're seeing, the old adage, like the little things are adding up to the big things, which gives you double-digit leads. And let's see if Bradley can just maintain this level.
Step back 3 from Horton is good, and a good response out of the timeout. Raekwon Horton, who played in 35 games for James Madison, a team that not only made the tournament, but they upset Wisconsin in that first round. There's the pick and roll. Jonovic with the strength to lay it in.
Nice pass there. Good complimentary back and finishes that. I think that's already 4 or 5 points for him.
Monsanto with Zeke's hand in his face. Good one-on-one defense, forced a tough 16-footer, and it spins off. One and done again for UTSA. Dean again.
Thought he had it. Heat check again.
Spears right wing. Good recovery by Hannah. Horton drives in, and it deflected. Scott, great effort to keep it alive, and nearly gets 3 for his team, and a collision and a whistle. I think that was actually off UTSA.
I'm not sure what the call was.
I don't know if that's a, hey, we thought there was a foul, but we didn't call it, so we're just going to give it to him. I don't know. But in any event, it'll be UTSA basketball when we come back. 3:06 remaining in this half. Bradley has opened up an 11-point lead here at home.
There's one quality we all want
from an auto repair shop. Honesty, right? At Peoria Tire and Vulcanizing, everything we do is to earn your trust. Whether changing your car's oil, putting new tires on your tractor, or maintaining your commercial vehicles, we do it with integrity at Peoria Tire, like we've done for 100 years. Give us a call right now, and we'll get you set up with an appointment. Honesty, the original way to do business. From the original Peoria Tire.
Arch Madness tips off March 6th through the 9th in St. Louis, and the MVC Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village is back. The MVC Fan Hangout is the place to celebrate before and after all games at Enterprise Center. Featuring restaurants, entertainment, and everything Arch Madness, the fun starts 2 hours before the first game each day of the tournament at host locations Bally Sports Live and Sports and Social. For more information, visit archmadness.com and click on Fan Hangout. We'll see you there.
Bradley University student athletes live their sport, so when an injury occurs, they need a team of specialists focused and ready to get them back in action. The sports medicine doctors at OSF Healthcare, in partnership with Great Plains Orthopedics, are specially trained to restore function to injured athletes so they can get back to competing as soon as possible. OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics are proud to be the official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics.
38-27 the score, large in part to this man, Duke Dean, Christoph, who has been feeling it here in the first half.
Man, Duke Dean has came out. He's helping his team, defense, offense, hitting threes, mid-range jump shots, whatever it may be, assist. He's getting everyone involved. Duke Dean is, after a loss on the road, a tough one, come home against a good opponent, Duke Dean is doing exactly what a senior veteran guard is supposed to do, who's an all-league player.
Yeah, Dean with 13. How about Darius Hanna has pitched in with 11 already in the first half as well. So you have the two first-team All-Valley players preseason anyway come on and contribute really well. But Atlason with 8 as well for the Braves. And as we said that last time out, yes, the offense, the scoring's been great, but they've done a really good job on the other end of the floor that's led to some of the scoring opportunities.
Yes, they have. Gap integrity, I've said it 3 times now, has been tremendous by Bradley. I know they've really been working on that. And quite honestly, on-the-ball defense has been pretty solid too. So, you definitely don't want to take that away from the Braves.
Especially against a team that has the athleticism and talent to play one-on-one offensively.
Absolutely.
Montgomery gets it back himself. Does he get an assist for that?
He gets an assist for that unconventional pick-and-roll basket there.
Spears, good personnel recognition by the Braves. Not let him get any space. Scott out of bounds, and it'll go back to Bradley. So what was sort of a back and forth first half for about the first half of it, the Braves have really taken over here in the last 8 minutes or so. As Dean with the right, this time goes inside, gets his own rebound, and still finds 2.
He's having a heck of a game tonight. Duke Dean scoring in every way possible, adding offensive rebound putback to his resume.
15 points for Dean. Atlason with his 5th rebound.
Oh.
Was he over and back?
Yep, over and back there. Dead ball turnover, though, that's not going to kill you. Obviously, you want to get a field goal attempt, but right there, just, getting a little ahead of yourself, doing the right thing by just trying to, DHO and get it to your point guard, and just bad timing, bad placement.
That's only the 6th turnover by the Braves here in the half, which, again, if you're watching, you can't always go by number of turnovers. It's a lot of contingent on pace and possessions and things, and Braves' turnover percentage has been really good here in the first half.
Absolutely.
Horton's 3 is good. Raekwon Horton, his 2nd triple of the half, cuts the UTSA deficit down to 12.
And Darius Hanna just got sucked in a little bit there trying to tag on that. Came out. That's Horton's hit a couple now. We're going to see the adjustment they make on that in the second half.
Allison goes into the contact and shoots 2.
He's going to get 2 shots on that one. That's a great point. Him using that contact. He's driving. He's really adding that to his game, as we've seen 3 times tonight. He's gone in there and made some positive plays.
So I said earlier, had a really strong opener at 13 points, 8 rebounds against SEMO. He's on track for another strong effort tonight. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists from the sophomore from Reykjavik, Iceland. Jordan Wicks will come back in for Monsanto. Again, UTSA, a team that was picked, in the lower portion of the American, but take that with a grain of salt. Anytime there's this many new players and uncertainty, those teams in all sorts of preseason polls get picked towards the bottom. So you can certainly see the athleticism and the talent that's there for this group.
Oh, no question about it. I think the Bradley fans wanted to travel there, and they wouldn't have been wrong.
Dean, Montgomery. Atlason steps back and buries a three.
Great job, Zeke Montgomery getting involved, getting the assist there. Atlason always dangerous in that. And that's a great job just coming down in transition basketball and finishing.
Largest lead of the night for the Braves is 16. Horton to answer. And just a 3.8 second differential shot clock to game clock. Braves can play for virtually the last shot here, and as a result, they'll take their first half's timeout, or use it or lose it. I don't believe they've used one. UTSA used theirs earlier.
And you saw Coach Warder there instructing Darius Hannah, don't do that, don't overhelp, don't overhelp. Stay on Horton. Darius 6'11", he's going to have a little more leeway to help than other guys because of his recovery length. But on the same light, Horton's proven he can make that over him. So make sure he gets back out on Horton as we see Fergie Jenkins there.
Yeah, I see Fergie. Hall of Famer number 31, one of two Cubs Hall of Famers that wore 31. Can I pop quiz you and tell you what the other one was?
It's not Greg Maddux,
It is Greg Maddux. I promise you at home I didn't give you that answer, but the original 31 for the Cubs, Fergie Jenkins.
Oh, man.
And he's a regular here. We see him quite a bit here in Peoria. Bradley games sit in that seat around this time of year. And him, you also see Lee Smith a lot, former Cubs and Cardinals great reliever.
Lee Arthur Smith.
Yeah, absolutely. Liking what he sees here in the first half is Bradley. Again, will isolate with Dean near the timeline. Again, like I said, just under a 4-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Now the Braves will get into their action. Atlason had it stripped and stolen away, and that's got to be some sort of double dribble. It wasn't called. And that one is a foul that's going to go on
I'm a little confused. UTSA, okay.
Yeah.
Off the ball foul.
Off the ball, and after the shot, too, because this is going to send Bradley to the foul line now with 2.1 to go.
Well, this might work out out well for the Braves after all.
And that's 3 on Scott.
Man, that's tough to get your third foul with 2 seconds left on a rebounding situation away from the ball.
Good front end by Hannah. Ryan Wardle screaming no fouls as, the Braves have 6, so obviously the next one would send UTSA to the line. Nothing to give for Bradley. That's how the first half will come to an end, and you said it, Christoph, a great finish by the Braves in the last several minutes of that first half, and all of a sudden you blink and they're up 18 heading into the break. We'll step aside, take a timeout, be back to recap this first half with stats, highlights, and more. That's coming up next. You're watching The Valley right here on ESPN.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup and ride that highway in the sky.
The moment I loved our Subaru Outback most was the moment they walked away from it.
Mom! Thank goodness.
And that's why our family will only drive a Subaru.
Subaru. More IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than any other brand. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Get special low rates on a new Subaru Outback for a limited time.
Marco!
You're the one who wanted to book a place with our own pool.
Yep.
Marco!
When you'd rather enjoy the pool than clean someone else's.
What is that?
Sweetie, get out of the pool.
Welcome. It matters where you stay.
Hey, thank you.
Save up to 20% off with Hilton's Season to Stay sale. Hilton, for the stay.
Give me a hot pink Cosmopolitan and some drama.
Give me a Kettle One soda with a twist. Give me an early morning tea time and a Bloody Mary with Kettle One vodka.
Give me a local who knows his way around an olive and a martini, dirty, with Kettle One vodka.
Give me an after party, an espresso martini, and a room full of strangers.
Give me a cocktail with Kettle One vodka.
Halftime here at Carver Arena. Braves out to an 18-point lead. Well, Christoph, it's only November, but Arch Madness, it's going to be here before you know it. And it tips off March 6th through the 9th in St. Louis. And the MVC Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village is the best place to celebrate before and after games. Visit the MVC Fan Hangout to enjoy Ballpark Village restaurants, entertainment, and everything March Madness. For more information, visit archmadness.com and click on Fan Hangout. Well, if you're just joining us, you missed a lot. Very entertaining first half. Let's get you caught up to speed here as we get a look at our first half highlights and partially the Duke Dean show.
Yeah, no question about it. Darius Hannah and Duke Dean, after a loss, come out and establish themselves. Make sure, hey, we're coming back from a tough one, but we're the senior veteran guys. We played a long time. We're all Valley. Let's get this team going. UTSA hung around early. It was a little back and forth. They played really well to start off. Bradley kind of flexed their muscle defensively, and then that led to offense, and then Duke Dean went off with the supporting cast lending a great hand.
Yeah, and you saw that everything became difficult for UTSA offensively in the latter portion of the first half. Even the buckets they made, it seemed like they had to work a lot for them.
Yeah, they did. They did. Early, I think the first 5 points for the Roadrunners, and we talked about this, were off of Bradley turnovers. Bradley kind of stopped that, cut that down a little bit, made them earn it in the half court. Bradley did a great job, defensively, being in gaps, being on help line, and ultimately just staying in front of the ball. And did not allow second chance points either. That's key, and that's how you hold a good team that has explosive scoring to 30 points and a half.
Yeah, 48-30 is your score. We'll step aside, take another timeout. We'll break down more of the metrics. That's coming up after this here in Peoria on a Tuesday night.
Hey babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE?
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes?
Dad, 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks. Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular.
When you order Domino's online, we'll give you a free pizza to use for a future pizza emergency. So you'll have an emergency pizza. A free pizza when you need it most.
There you go. Thank you. Welcome. Enjoy.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. This isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. You find diamonds in the rust to put your own stamp on stock parts, turning metal into murals and detailing every detail. Because it's the things you make that show what you're made of. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
I've heard it countless times. It doesn't matter where you get your car loan, but it should. When I got my car loan, SEFQ's experts and resources gave me all the help I needed, plus competitive rates and flexible terms. And their free pre-approval let me know my budget right away. So I knew exactly what I could afford before I even got here. And now, this ride is all mine.
Construyo mi propio camino. Mi troca es una extensión de mi ser, mi cultura, mis raíces. me impulsan a un innegable llamado a alcanzar más.
Nuestro llamado es construir camionetas para que cuando oigas el llamado, nada pueda detenerte.
Obtén 4,000 de descuento y dueños o arrendatarios actuales de marca Ford obtienen bono de 2,000 en la compra de muchas camionetas Ram 1500 del 25.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup and ride that highway in the sky.
$18-point Bradley lead here at halftime at Carver Arena, and since 1907, we've been one valley, united institutions with common goals, breaking down barriers and building up communities. MVC student athletes are leaving a lasting impact in the places they call home by sharing diverse perspectives and fostering a climate of unity for future Valley pioneers. We are one Valley. Brian Vito and Christoph Kendrick with you. Braves with an 18-point lead. We'll take another timeout. Come back with first half stats and get you ready for half number 2 here in Peoria, right here on the Valley on ESPN.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now right at your fingertips in Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, tight money line splits. Start betting like a pro from anywhere in Illinois.
Hey, Devontae.
Let me get a Cantina chicken burrito in a bowl.
You have a golf course in your house?
Bro, I got a Taco Bell in my house.
Right.
When you want bedtime to be a good time,
Good night, sweetheart.
it matters where you stay. Stay and save up to 20% off. Hilton for the stay.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. Head to the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup and ride that highway in the sky.
He's been through a lot.
We'll get there. It's okay. You're safe here. Come on. No hurry.
You know it's true. I only wanna be with you.
Love begins with trust. I'm not going anywhere. That's why I got a Subaru.
The Subaru Forester. Safe, long-lasting, trusted, loved.
There's something powerful, freeing even, about starting again. No expectations, no race on the calendar, not losing sleep over that marathon I may never run. Today, it's just about me. Because happiness isn't about some finish line. It's about the journey.
With ESPN Plus, catch live NFL games. Plus, let's go to the tape. NFL shows from some of the biggest names in the game and exclusive expert analysis. ESPN Plus equals more football. Stream now.
Just about ready to get rolling here in the second half between Bradley and UTSA. The score 48-30. It was nip and tuck most of that first half before the Braves pulled away in the latter portion of the first half. Bradley, 3 players in double figures for the Braves already, paced by Duke Dean, who's got 15 points, 6 of 9 shooting, 4 rebounds, 3 assists as well as he stuffs the stat sheet in that first half. Other players, double figures for the Braves. Darius Hannah, 13 points, 3 rebounds as well, a pair of blocks for the senior out of Milwaukee. Almar Atlison also in double figures for the Braves. Very efficient, 12 points, 4 of 5 from the floor, 3 of 3 from deep, 5 rebounds, a pair of assists as well for the sophomore. Get you caught up around the speed. We got some other games going on around the Valley. Looks like UIC is going to drop a tight one at Northwestern. 78-70 is the score, under a minute left in that one. Other final that just went final, Indiana State drops one at home to SIU Edwardsville in Terre Haute. Elsewhere, games at halftime are just getting started in the second half. Valpo with a 31-28 lead against Cleveland State. Illinois State with a 3-point 40-37 lead over Ohio. And Lipscomb in the Battle of Nashville, a 1-point lead at home against Belmont early on in the second half as well. Well, Braves, after this one, will be home again on Saturday as they'll take on Northern Illinois. So 3 of the first 4 games for Bradley this year here at Carver Arena. Then they'll hit the road for their Thanksgiving tournament that will take place at Myrtle Beach. We don't know exactly who the Braves' opponents will be throughout the course of the week, except for their first one, which will go up against Texas State. The Braves will return home for the week of Thanksgiving. Then they'll take on Judson the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday. And that will get them ready into the mini start of conference play. They'll be in Carbondale at SIU. Just a 1-game mini start to conference play. We'll go back to non-conference and some very strong opponents for the Braves, Santa Clara and San Francisco, Canisius, and then we'll go ahead and get back into conference play. But here in Peoria, Christoph, you look at the first half, it's an entirety 18-point game, but it almost felt like you just look up and all of a sudden it's a big lead for the Braves. It seemed like it was so tight throughout the first half, and just all of a sudden a few sequences here and there, the great defense on one end led to offense, and that's where we stand as we get a look at some of our first half stats.
Yeah, and I don't know if bogged down is the right word to describe it, but it was kind of back and forth, slow-paced, not much energy from the crowd. Then all of a sudden it was 22-19 in favor of the Roadrunners, and Bradley just hit the gas pedal. And from there, the Braves just went on a run and never turned back. And next thing you know, it's an 18-point lead here at half. They did it with defense, 3-point shooting, good shots, and not allowing the Roadrunners to get second chance points.
Yeah, you're right. Limiting the second chance opportunities was absolutely huge. UTSA shot just 31% from the floor. Bradley 56% from the floor, and that they came in shooting 50%, which is obviously an incredible clip, and they were over that in the first half. Couple that with the 57% from 3, and now you look at those metrics, and the margin at halftime kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. When you look it up and you look at the scoreboard, statistically, you would probably guess Team A is beating Team B 15 to 20 points based off what you look at the stat sheet, so without looking at the actual score per se.
And looks like UTSA is going to come out with a little bit different of a look, as you're going to see Jai in to start the second half for UTSA, give them a little bit more size underneath. Bradley's going to go with the same starting 5. And here we go to start the second half. The Braves will start the half with possession. High screen and roll for Dean. deflected out. It'll stay with Bradley, 15 to shoot.
Well defended by UTSA that time.
Davis will inbound. Problems getting it in. Nope, they don't.
And if you're UTSA, that's a start you want to this half. That's great defensive intensity. You come out, you stop the ball screen, you get a deflection, and then a 5-second count. You want to build off that right away. Coach Wardle knows it, and that's why he's intense. He wants to be the one that comes out with a good start.
There's Spears, who's leading the Roadrunners in scoring with 9. Millender. Left side, Spears. Skipped in the corner. Looking to post up Jai. One-on-one on the low block. Jai with the left. Good touch by the big man.
And Bradley played really good defense that entire possession. Jai goes with his left hand, like you said, finishes over the top to end it. But a good possession overall by Bradley there. Just better execution from UTSA.
The second chance, I wasn't sure if that was Davis or Hannah, and I think that was the reason why it didn't go in.
They were fighting over it.
And it'll stay with UTSA.
And again, nothing bad per se from Bradley to start off with this first minute, but you can see the intensity's ramped up for UTSA. There's a sense of urgency they didn't have probably the last 10 minutes of the first half.
Millender. Spears. Didn't need to go. Knifes his way in. No, and a rare second chance opportunity for the Roadrunners. Horton's 3. Good gang rebounding effort by the Braves. Hannah with the box out. That's his 4th rebound. And that'll stay with Bradley as Jonovic is going to come in for Atlason. A little bit more size against a guy like Jai underneath.
No doubt. I think that's exactly why that sub was made.
Travel.
Hannah had a near turnover on that dribble handoff right before that inbound play right there, and then followed up with one right there. Bradley just tightened it up here a little bit. We'll see what the Roadrunners do to take advantage of that.
So the Braves with a 16-point lead. They've been dominant here at home throughout pretty much all of Ryan Wardle's tenure, especially the last several years. It's been such a difficult place for the opposition to come in and play well. Spears, tough angle deuce, and Davis gets rewarded with the rebound.
Great defense by him on ball right there.
Montgomery, spinning baseline. He lost it on his way in, and Davis tried to save it, couldn't do it.
Back-to-back dead ball turnovers. Bradley ran that post-split action, and actually Hannah, I thought, was open on it, but Montgomery had already made his move and committed to it, but I think he could have dished it off to Hannah if he'd have waited just a split second later.
So here's Millender, who had 4 first-half points, 1 of 5 shooting. They're looking for Jai underneath. Good denial by Jonovic. Instead, they go opposite corner. Millender through traffic. No. Gets his own rebound. They swing it around. Good ball movement by the Roadrunners. And Hannah collects his 5th board.
And you notice Darius Hannah, when his man lifted, when Horton lifted, he did not leave him that time either. That was quickly addressed at halftime. And Hannah, for lack of a better term, understood the assignment.
Dean finds space and connects from 15.
Duke Dean's so lethal at that mid-range game, and that's his 3rd or 4th one tonight.
Deep 3 is off the mark. Up ahead for Hannah, streaking down. Kicks it back out Montgomery. Same spot as Dean, same result.
Zeke Montgomery, that was just too much in rhythm for him. He got exactly to a spot. You saw how comfortable he was. And like he did earlier, Brian, when you said it, he just rose up above and finished.
Montgomery with 6. Horton in rhythm.
And a little danger time here for the Roadrunners.
Davis cutting in his Montgomery, couldn't corral it.
We're 4 minutes in here in the second half. Bradley's committed 3 turnovers, and their lead has gone up by 2 points from halftime. So what are you doing to offset that? Really good defense this first 4 minutes.
Yeah, really good defense, and rebounding, as you mentioned, they've really limited UTSA's second chance opportunities all night. Spears, a tough deuce. Jonovich, you love his physicality underneath.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and again, if you're Bradley and Spears is going to try to shoot that 16-footer over Jonovich, you're living with that all day. Look at Dillon keeping the ball alive, giving Bradley an extra possession.
Davis turns it over. Finger roll with the left is good by Spears. He's the first Roadrunner in double figures. He's got 11.
And again, a point off a turnover. That's 4 turnovers in 4 minutes here for Bradley.
Jonovich on the handoff to Dean. Dean again from the mid-range, draws the contact, he'll shoot 2.
That'll go to the media there, but indeed, they're more wary of that mid-range pull-up. They try to recover, they hit Duke. He's going to be rewarded for it.
Trying to get his 18th and 19 points when we come back. Same lead as halftime for the Braves. It's 18 on the Valley on ESPN.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Choose FlexBuy on F-150 and get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $2,000 FlexBuy and $1,000 low APR cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
There's one quality we all want from an auto repair shop. Honesty, right? At Peoria Tire and Vulcanizing, everything we do is to earn your trust. Whether changing your car's oil, putting new tires on your tractor, or maintaining your commercial vehicles, we do it with integrity at Peoria Tire, like we've done for 100 years. Give us a call right now, and we'll get you set up with an appointment. Honesty, the original way to do business. From the original Peoria Tire.
I started in 1951 when I was 14 years old. A gentleman by the name of Joe O'Brien, he told me, he said, I've had planes, I've had motorhomes, I've had big houses, I've had little houses, Wayne. He said, I've had everything that I've ever wanted, but he said, I've never appreciated anything more than a motorcycle. You get on it, you go where you want to go, and you don't have to answer to anybody. Sometimes you can call it work, other times it's just a pleasure to do what you do every day.
Bradley University student-athletes live their sport, so when an injury occurs, they need a team of specialists focused and ready to get them back in action. The sports medicine doctors at OSF Healthcare, in partnership with Great Plains Orthopedics, are specially trained to restore function to injured athletes so they can get back to competing as soon as possible. OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics are proud to be the official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics.
Back here in Peoria, Bradley with an 18-point lead in Arch Madness again. Don't forget, it takes place March 6th through the 9th at Enterprise Center in St. Louis. Get your all-session tickets now and save nearly $25 by calling 309-677-2625 or order online at bradleybraves.com. Support the Braves and experience the madness. I got to get on that. I got to get my tickets, my all-session passes. I'm ready to go. It's far away, but it'll be here before we know it.
No doubt. No doubt. Fun event it'll be, too. High-quality competition, good teams, good venue, good weather.
Duke Dean makes the first. He's got 18. Three threes. Remember last year at third best season ever from the three-point line for the Braves. The Braves as a program did as well.
Yes. And there we see Bradley with the traditional half court or full court press to slow teams up.
Scott couldn't finish. And it seems like this is the case for everyone. As Atlason's just wide open for three, maybe two open. Montgomery had it poked away. It'll stay here. Whenever the Braves have been able to set their half-court defense or after a make,
they run right there. It's not necessarily to get a steal.
Right.
It's just to slow them up.
Yep. Change it up. Yep.
And so you start your offense deeper in the shot clock. Makes it harder to execute. It's been a weapon for Bradley for, well, years, as long as Coach Wardle's been here.
Yeah, the Braves is Montgomery on the hesitation. Couldn't finish. Jonovich had it blocked and taken away. But to your point, the Braves always in the country are one of the best at bleeding that shot clock by the opposition as that's spatted away by Atlason. And I think Dillon thought Montgomery was there and let it go through. It was actually for Dillon. And it'll go back over to the Roadrunners.
Well, there's a lot of, fixable things here you're seeing with a lot of these turnovers. Again, I said earlier, the good thing is these are dead ball turnovers where they're not getting out and being able to come and score easy off you. Your defense is already set. So this is stuff you can work through and play through.
Horton drives, and he's met by a pair of defenders, and a whistle and a foul is going to go on either Hanna or Atlason. And it's going to go on Atlason, his second. Nobody in real foul trouble for the Braves. Atlason now the only Brave with multiple personals. Both Scott and Millender have 3 for the Roadrunners.
And Horton did a good job there finding an angle, going up, drawing 2 defenders. They met him at the rim and had to have contact. And now he's going to get 2 free throws. But again, trying to make him earn it.
And Bradley 12-3 here at home last year. 1-0 this year as Dillon gets the rebound. What a night by, I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but for Dillon on the road on Friday night, tough environment, comes in, knocks down 4 triples, as Atlason with the teardrop.
I love that from Atlason right there. The play was busted because UTSA just gambled. Atlason had great recognition right away, attacked it and finished. That is growth in his game. We wouldn't have seen that last year.
Right wing 3 is short, and Dillon again races to get the rebound. The Braves have increased their halftime margin by 3. Reach and foul is going to go on Scott. That's his 4th.
Yeah, remember he picked up that cheap one right
at the end of the half.
And that's where it comes to bite you. And Hermes is going to come in the game here. I don't think we've seen him yet, have we, Brian?
No, Hermes is not checked in yet, so his first action as Scott heads to the bench.
And that's foul trouble, certainly forcing the Roadrunners to go deep into their bench early in the second half.
And the Braves won the only other contest between these two schools. That was in 2017. Those multi-team events in the middle of the season. No-look pass. We're going to say it was intended for Dillon. But they're going to skip it to Atlason to beat the shot clock. Dillon races in and finishes off the glass.
Great finish. Dillon, again, a smaller guard. That's the second time this half he's given the Braves an extra possession with his toughness and will.
Millender blocked by Hanna. Last touch by Bradley. But that's the 3rd rejection from Darius Hanna. Of course, led the Braves in this category.
Well, I tell you, from a mental standpoint, when you're a guard, it's nice to know you got that guy behind you, clearing things up and making sure there's nothing easy at the rim.
Hermes. Another tough attempt. That's going to be a foul on Hanna. Great defense for about 28.5 seconds, and then.
And we heard Coach Wardle just yell, Darius, you got to move your feet. Brian, you said it, 28.5 seconds of great defense, and Darius Hannah didn't have to do that either. He still was on his side. If he just keeps riding with him and putting his arm up, he's forcing that guy to shoot a very tough floater / layup over a 6'10" guy.
One of two for the Roadrunners. As Mahmoud gets on the board for UTSA. They're going to pick up the pressure on Johnson. Montgomery muscles his way up and in.
Great move by Zeke right there, attacking the press, had numbers. No one stepped over to help, so he just used his body to go up and finish.
He's got 8. Millender just inside the arc. Long 2 is down. Jaquan Johnson, the freshman out of Milwaukee. Again at 15 points in his debut against SEMO. Atlason had it stripped and then commits the personal.
Brian, that's happening too much here early in the season. Whenever Atlason is at the top of the key, he's had, a lot of struggles controlling the basketball.
And we'll take a timeout on the floor, UTSA with the basketball. When we come back, 11:32 to go, Braves by 21.
For our veterans, the end of their service is just the beginning. It may come with new careers and new chaos. There might be late nights, school drops, and even haircuts. That's where we come in, providing more than $1 million a year in career-building scholarship funds and discounts on every haircut for our veterans. Just trying to do our part to make their lives a little easier. Sport Clips Haircuts, supporting veterans everywhere.
I've heard it all my life. Don't buy fancy coffee. But here's the thing. I like my daily dose of vanilla latte. With SEFQ's help, I know I'm managing and spending my money in a way that works best for me. And I can keep track of my spending just like that. Boom, mobile app. I'll take a muffin too. Since I got an account with SEFQ, I'm doing things my way, and that's what really matters. Ooh, that's good.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a rugged new Passport, Pilot with available all-wheel drive, and the powerful Ridgeline. So don't wait, turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Hey, babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE? Clue is get 4 of these for free with 4 lines for $90 a month at US Cellular.
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes? I love these free phone flakes.
Hey, Dad, 4 free phones.
Each serving has 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks.
Oh.
They're right behind me, aren't they?
Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. US Cellular.
With Christoph Kendrick, I'm Brian Beto back here. 11:32 to go in this one. Bradley leading UTSA 60-39. Some fresh, I would say fresh faces, but different rotation this time around for UTSA, trying to inject some life into this lineup here in the second half. That's been all Bradley since about halfway through that first half. We've seen Hermes foul trouble also playing a role too. Mahmoud, who just scored his first points into the ball game as well. Millender. They swinging around the horn. Look at the speed. Dillon again in the middle of everything.
Causing deflections, that leads to steals.
Davis lays it in.
And UTSA is all out of sorts right now. We kind of talked about that earlier. It was one of my keys for them. You know, cohesiveness, your first game together, how are you going to respond when Bradley goes on a run? And again, it is game one, and they have a very experienced staff, very good staff. This is going to get worked out, but this is a chance for them to get some film on themselves really early against a high-quality opponent.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I think we brought this up even in the opener, and it's certainly the case for Bradley too. But when you have a UTSA group that's so new to each other, these two teams are going to look so much different by the time we've been talking about Arch Madness and that time of the year. By the time that rolls around, just the market improvements and the identity and finding themselves is just going to be so much different throughout that point of the year.
Oh, no question about it. And listen, they're in a tough league. I mean, and this is something we love to see in scheduling. Missouri Valley against American, Missouri Valley against Atlantic 10, Atlantic 10 against American. These similar type leagues playing each other in November is only going to help each other get better.
And you think about the style that Bradley's played in their opposition the first few games, and it's good to see just not only various talent levels as Johnson is knocked to the floor and he'll shoot too, but it's good to go up against different styles because you never know what you're going to go up against in some of those bigger games later in the season.
No, absolutely. When you see different styles, you're prepared for different things. In your league, you're going to see different styles. I mean, obviously, your players, especially your vet guys, know who's going to run what and how they're going to play and whatnot. But still, you want to be prepared for any and every adjustment that can come at you. And Coach Wardle and his staff have done a great job scheduling over the years to do that.
As Johnson was the first one to rim out. And the freshman from Milwaukee, who is just a prolific scorer in his time in high school.
Yeah, in a varsity high school basketball game, he'd be a nightmare to try to guard, stay in front of with his strength and athleticism.
And he was a nightmare.
Yes, and that's why he's here now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quick ball movement. But the Braves don't miss a beat defensively. Wing three is good. Knocked in by Monsanto.
It was initially defended very well. It was a back screen, ball screen action. Bradley rotated, was there on the catch. And UTSA didn't give up on the play, kept it going. Good ball movement led to that three.
Lobbed up top for Jonovich.
Jonovich has had quite a nice game tonight, you know?
Yeah, no question about it. He's got 6 points, 4 rebounds, a steal. And we talked about the physicality that he brings and that body underneath, not afraid to mix it up down there, and even just his presence influences things in the paint.
Yeah, absolutely, because you see him out there, and mentally you know when he's in the game, he's in there to change a shot, get a rebound, be physical, so you know that going in.
And Bradley's going to take a timeout here. 9:36 to go.
For our veterans, the end of their service is just the beginning. It may come with new careers and new chaos. There might be late nights, school drops, and even haircuts. That's where we come in, providing more than $1 million a year in career-building scholarship funds and discounts on every haircut for our veterans. Just trying to do our part to make their lives a little easier. Sport Clips Haircuts, supporting veterans everywhere.
I've heard it countless times. It doesn't matter where you get your car loan, but it should. When I got my car loan, SEFQ's experts and resources gave me all the help I needed, plus competitive rates and flexible terms. And their free pre-approval let me know my budget right away. So I knew exactly what I could afford before I even got here. And now, this ride is all mine.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a sporty new Civic, spirited Accord, fun to drive HRV, and versatile CRV. So don't wait, turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Hey, babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE? Clue is get 4 of these for free with 4 lines for $90 a month at US Cellular.
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes? I love these free phone flakes.
Hey, Dad, 4 free phones.
Each serving has 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks.
Oh.
They're right behind me, aren't they?
Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular.
$65-46 is the score. Bradley on top of UTSA. We're going to look at Joe Napoli, a Bradley super fan. Bradley legend celebrating his 90th birthday today. A legend, Bradley baseball, actually led the nation in hitting his senior year, and you could always catch him right near center court. And he's had the luxury of seeing some really strong teams over the years, including the last few. Sitting just a few seats down from Fergie Jenkins, who we showed you earlier.
No doubt.
A couple of baseball legends,
yeah,
huh?
Legends row right there.
Handoff underneath to Jonovic. And they're going to get him for a double dribble.
So Jonovic got bumped off his spot a little bit right there. It's a really good pass by Johnson, but that's the growth in him. He's done it a couple times tonight, but he's got to be able to take that up right away, finish it, flush it home, and you'll see as the season goes on, you'll watch that slowly improve for him, and it'll just add to his repertoire.
Up and good. Plus the contact. That's Raekwon Horton.
Really nice play call. Cut the lead down to 17 right there. Go down, get a little pin down, curl right off it, attack the basket. And a really good finish.
So Horton now has 12 points. He joins Spears. Oh no, Spears now has 13 for UTSA.
Tell you what, Brian, I really like playing Johnson and Dean together. I want to see how this works out. A lot of people be afraid to do it because of their size, but in today's game, you can get away with it.
And especially with Dean's off the ball ability, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Montgomery downhill. Cut off by Jai. Jonovic, great position underneath, just couldn't finish.
Look at
Wrestled away by Johnson, and he's fouled.
I want to know when this is added up, because he's going to get 2 free throws. No. Are they going to call it on the floor? No, 2 shots. How many points Johnson and Dillon, two of the smallest guys on the court, and Duke Dean, because he had that offensive rebound put back earlier. These little guys have given Bradley extra possession. How many points they're responsible for with that? Just a tough kid. Goes down there in the land of the Giants and pulls out and gets 2 free throws.
And how often do you see, like, when you're talking about or thinking about a freshman, you're like, oh, he's really skilled. He's just got to fill out a little bit. Jaquan Johnson's already filled out.
He has, hasn't he? He is college ready. And you see in the early season, he's already helping the Braves. And I think his role's only going to expand as we go on. Especially with the other part of the Milwaukee connection, Demarion Burks, sidelined with an injury.
And again, no Birch again tonight. And he will be a massive part of this team's success this year. And that's the luxury of having some depth as Monsanto tries the opposite wing. Jai, the rebound is, throughout the course of the year, you're not going to stay 100% healthy all year. So you have guys that can step into the rotation as Jonovic.
Brian, you said it earlier. His presence in there.
Yep.
Great block off the glass.
On display. Taken away by UTSA, lobbed ahead for Millender, lobbed up top for Spears. Great sequence by the Roadrunners.
And again, sloppy play. A turnover is going to lead to an and-one opportunity. 16-point lead, 8 minutes left. The Roadrunners are still, as we see the block there by Jonovic, but the Roadrunners are still in striking distance here. If you're Bradley, you need a couple good possessions.
Spears now a perfect 5 of 5 from the stripe. UTSA as a team are extremely efficient, 13 of 16 from the foul line here tonight. They're looking for Dean on the upcut. Now here comes the ball screen from Jonovic. Step back three, and a big one from Duke Dean.
It's tough. You get an ISO side ball screen two-man game, and you get Najee trying to guard Dean, and he just kind of picks what he can do with that and settles for the step back three, which we know he can make.
That's his fourth triple. Spears, a one-handed push shot off the glass, counts just the same.
Spears is as advertised, isn't he, Brian?
Yeah, he can really score. Jonovic to Johnson. Full steam ahead. Johnson on the reverse. Couldn't get it to go. Monsanto to a streaking Horton. Euros his way in, and Montgomery bats it off the batter, but that actually went off Horton.
Great heads-up play by Zeke Montgomery.
Yeah.
Terrific play.
And they're going to change it. All's well that ends well. It goes back over to Bradley. And I think Coach Claunch wanted a foul before that opportunity, but clearly off UTSA. It'll be Bradley basketball. When we come back, 6:59 to go. The Braves with a 16-point advantage.
Hey babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE?
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes?
Dad, 4 free phones. 4 free phones?
Thanks. Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a sporty new Civic, spirited Accord, fun to drive HRV, and versatile CRV. So don't wait, turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
Wow. Hey, Jay, this project might need a bit of zhuzhing. Holla back, Warren.
Please let me know your thoughts. Best regards, Warren.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, jeez. No. Okay. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
$16-point lead for the Braves. Just get a look at that last sequence before the timeout. And Montgomery thinks he probably touched it last, so he bats it off of Raekwon Horton, who was defenseless on the floor on the baseline.
I mean, Zeke's a fourth-year player. He's been around. He knows what to do. That was a very smart heads-up play right there.
Good awareness by Montgomery. So it'll be Bradley basketball with 6:59 to go with Christoph Kendrick and Brian Beto as the Braves trying to hold off UTSA at an 18-point lead at halftime. Have limited the Roadrunners to just 32% from the floor. The Braves themselves at 53%. And a whistle and a foul, and it's going to go on Spears. Good effort by Spears, and when you're down 16 with 7 minutes to go, you have to take those chances, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And he tried to rip the pocket of Duke Dean, which was tough, and he almost did it.
And Duke Dean leading the way with 22 points, a new season high early on in the season, obviously. 13 points still off his career high. He had 35 in a game at Missouri State last year. One-on-one, Montgomery gives it up to Davis. 5 to shoot. Hannah goes to work.
That's tough. I'll tell you what, you get Darius Hannah at the end of a shot clock with the ball in your hands, you would think defensively you feel good about that. But, man, he just went one-on-one. His guard skills, I said it last game, they continue to just keep improving.
Scott playing with 4 fouls. And Montgomery with his 4th rebound. Braves set up their offense. Montgomery, they're looking for Atlason instead. Here's Hannah, top of the circle, pulls up from 17. Too strong. Monsanto the board. And he lost it on the pass, and Atlason was there to intercept. Atlason's open on the skip. Gets his man in the air, drives left side, and finishes with the right.
And that's Atlason again, driving to the basket after a shot fake. Teams are going to play him for the 3. Good adjustment by him.
That's 16 now for Atlason. Deep 3 for Millender. Davis tracks down the rebound. He's got 6 of those.
Say that, you can't say that.
Not this time from Dean. Spears nearly carried it, but they're going to say he kept his hand on top of it.
Good recovery by Davis.
Numbers for the Braves, 3-on-2. Montgomery is fouled.
Well, we've seen Bradley, I mean, we know the length and the athleticism, right? But we've seen Darius Hannah and we've seen Davis a couple times tonight get beat off the dribble. It's almost like they time it perfect, like, okay, I let you do that. And then they come back and block the shot right off the glass.
Yeah, those rim protectors, just an absolute game changer. As Montgomery gets the first one to go. Jonovic off the bench for Hannah. Dillon will come back in as well. Montgomery now with 9 points. Got 5 boards as well for the senior out of Louisville. .22 margin now for the Braves. As Johnson comes back in for Dean.
And Brian, with 9 minutes left, UTSA had cut this to 14. And I said something about Bradley needing to have some good possessions and a good stretch. And it looks like they heeded my call because the next 5 minutes they took the lead up +8 and kind of put this thing away.
There's a bump on the way in. That's going to be before the shot, I believe.
Yeah. In the NBA, it's that might have been a talent.
Second on Jonovic. One in the bonus for Horton. It's the one. The UTSA will host Little Rock on Saturday. And they'll be part of the Trojan Turkey tip-off for their Thanksgiving tournament. Again, I called the Braves their Thanksgiving tournament. It's actually the week before.
Yeah.
It's close in proximity. We'll count it, though.
Ooh, that's going to be a 10-second violation. There you see UTSA's press doing exactly kind of what Bradley likes to do, right? Make you swing the ball a couple times, become uneasy, become uncomfortable, and leads to, you know, a dead ball turnover.
Timeout taken by UTSA. Interesting conversation. He's like, you sure you want it? You sure you want it? wants a timeout, so we'll take it with them. 14 to go in this one. Bradley leading 76-56. Watching Bradley basketball in the Valley on ESPN.
This is ludicrous.
Ludicrous. All right, who called for ludicrous?
Sorry,
we meant this is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't tell ludicrous what's ludicrous. Ludicrous tells you what's ludicrous.
Okay.
Oh, that is ludicrous. You don't need me for this. Hang on. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Good thing you have State Farm. Just file a claim on the app or call us.
Guess I can go.
Don't you mean roll out?
No, I don't.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Bradley University student athletes live their sport, so when an injury occurs, they need a team of specialists focused and ready to get them back in action. The sports medicine doctors at OSF Healthcare, in partnership with Great Plains Orthopedics, are specially trained to restore function to injured athletes so they can get back to competing as soon as possible. OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics are proud to be the official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Choose FlexBuy on F-150 and get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $2,000 FlexBuy and $1,000 low APR cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
4:14 to go, and here's a look at our Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois player of the game. No surprise from the performance tonight, Christoph. It's Duke Dean.
Yeah, without a doubt. We talked about in the pregame, he's due for an offensive breakout, and coming off that loss to Washington State, coming back home, good to see Duke have that game tonight, and just something for future Bradley opponents to think about, like, who do we stop? Who do we go after? Because this team can score in many different ways. So how are we going to do this going forward? And Duke Dean certainly showing he's worthy of his all-league preseason selection.
Yeah, and you talk about a balanced offensive team. That doesn't always mean in that specific night. It's night to night, right?
Yep.
So, for example, Christian Davis, who came in leading the team in scoring, he's got just 2 points tonight because that's not what he needed to do in this basketball game as Millender splashes in a three. But then, the opening night, we talked about the same thing. Duke Dean didn't need to take over offensively because his teammates were getting involved knocking down shots. And tonight, they got it from him, and he's delivered as Atlason now has 18 for the Braves.
Nice finish. No, Brian, you're exactly right. Your evaluation of that. The way the balanced scoring is, like you said, is just not. Oh wow, good move right there. Man,
and Spears knocks one down.
Lost my train of thought there, but the balanced scoring is not just necessarily 10 guys have 8 points or whatever it may be throughout the night. It's who does it on one night, who can do it on the next.
Montgomery stayed with it, and the resilience pays off. He gets 2 more.
Yep.
So the Braves have reached the 80-point mark twice in their first 3 games. At 88 on opening night against Simo. Lob for Hanna!
Little action time here.
Horton deep 3. Taste down by Davis. And Dean has it. Atlason with 12 to shoot. He's just going to fire one up. And Millender is fouled.
You know, Brian, it's interesting. You look at the stats here from the last media timeout, and UTSA has made as many free throws as Bradley had attempted, and they have less than half, only 8 turnovers to Bradley's 17. Yeah, Bradley was up 20 at that media. How does that happen? Well, Bradley's dominated them on the glass, 44-25, and they're up 12 points at the three-point line. It's kind of, when you look at a stat sheet, sometimes it can be misleading, but the way to combat that is with great lockdown defense to make up for those turnovers, and then make shots. And that's what Bradley's done.
Yeah.
It's a very simple game, right? Guard your position and score the ball.
And no question about it. And defended incredibly well, too. It's the first half statistics have nearly mirrored the second half for Bradley defensively. They limited UTSA to 10 of 32 from the floor in the first half. They're 10 of 31 from the floor in the second half. So 32% for the game. And it really took off in the waning moments of that first half. And it's opened up this big gap. Montgomery buries a three.
Then you see another hustle play after a loose ball on an errant pass, and the Braves end up getting a three on it.
Spears a little off balance, and Lewis rather, and somehow gets it to go. First bucket of the night for Lewis. Johnson gets by his defender, had it deflected out.
I think this is a great bounce back game tonight. And you know what? UTSA is going to be fine this year. I think this is a good team.
We were talking during the break. We agree. Yeah. A lot of talent, athleticism, and Bradley coming off the heels as Davis can't come up with his first three of the night. Washington State is going to be a real problem in the Pac-12 this year.
Yes, without question.
And that's a foul that's going to go on Jonovic. And Lewis walking that one off, and he'll shoot. As we said at halftime, Bradley will be home again on Saturday to take on Northern Illinois. And Texas State as part of that tournament in Myrtle Beach. And then we'll see from there. Could be Princeton, who made that great run a couple of years ago. They still have a lot of faces from that team. They won the Ivy League in the regular season last year, lost in a heartbreaker in the tournament championship against Yale, who actually just dropped one to UIC this weekend, but then also Wright State involved.
It's going to be a good tournament.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good teams in there.
Jonovic squares up, puts it on the floor. Here's Dillon. Just didn't get it cleanly, otherwise I think he was going to pull the trigger there. 6 to shoot. Montgomery one-on-one. Deep three for Atlason. Mahmoud is fouled by Atlason. That's number 5 on Atlason, so
yeah,
he's
they're
done
going to count that.
Basket. Somebody came in late, knocked it off the net. I already turned my head.
Again, and that's something that Jonovic can't do. That didn't get above the rim.
It wasn't going in.
It wasn't going in, but still, I think by the law of the rule, if you touch it on the way down.
Mahmoud gets his first field goal. He's got 4 points off the bench for the Roadrunners. And this could be the last offensive possession of the night for the Braves, who are going to send the Carver faithful home happy here with their second home win and as many opportunities on this young season. Johnson lob for Jonovic, who couldn't finish. Montgomery's there. He goes to the ground. And a jump ball is going to go back over to UTSA. Yep.
You talked about Connor Dillon's threes the other night at Washington State. He's made a shot tonight. It wasn't a three, but man, did he play well tonight.
Yeah, he did.
That's a thing. Extra possessions, good defense, moved the ball. He really did a good job in his role.
Jai to the rim, and he gets 2. And that's how this one will end. A really good night for the Braves against a team in UTSA that you can see making waves in the American this year. Both these teams will certainly get better throughout the course of the year, built upon tonight's effort. But overall, Christoph, you think about classic Bradley Braves basketball. You force the opposition into tough spots. You bludgeon them on the glass. You hit open threes, and the Braves were able to do that tonight.
And you play great defense on top of all that. And you score 85 points. So Bradley, you know, averaging about 83 points a game here early in the season. When you're able to do that off the bat, because you know you can only get better, especially on the defensive end, you really, really are in a driver's seat type position. And I'm really excited to see how good the Braves are going to be, you know, a month from now, 2 months from now, and as we get into Valley play.
Yeah, excellent night for the Braves, led by 18 at the half. Never really got contested in that second half. You never really felt uncomfortable, and they were able to walk away with the win. That's going to wrap it up here from Carver Arena. My partner Christoph Kendrick and our entire production crew tonight. I'm Brian Beto saying so long from Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. Again, the final. The Bradley Braves 85 and the UTSA Roadrunners 72. This has been a presentation of ESPN.